Anyway, okay, so you went to the DR. When did you guys go?
I can't remember. It changed. Last year we went on over spring break.
Okay.
This year we went before we came back like the 25th.
Okay.
So last year we left on the 25th. So I don't know. I think the 18th. Yeah.
The 18th. Okay.
No. 16th.
16th. Okay.
We left on the 16th.
And for those listening that don't know, DR means Dominican Republic. So you went last year too.
Yeah.
And then how long are you guys down there?
About a week. I think about 8 days.
8 days?
Yeah.
Okay. You're there 8 days.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Well, the last, I guess, 6 full days, but 2 of the days are like they're traveling there and coming back.
Gotcha.
So.
Was it one flight?
Or no, it was
2?
like connecting flights.
Connecting flights, yeah. It's always cheaper, so.
Yeah.
Anyway. So what, just, I guess, start from the top. I mean, you told me a little bit about it, but I kind of wanted to leave most of it for this, so that way, it'd be fresh. But just tell me about in general, and then obviously, well, I don't want to give anything away, anything that I know, but just tell me about it in general.
Well, overall, it was very similar to last year. Just I guess the outline, of it. Like last year, the first day we go on a hike up a mountain, and then the rest, like that's usually kind of I guess our introductory day. Like we're not like just immediately going out to the village.
Yeah.
But we get to the first morning we get up. It's for Mountaintop Church. Where we take a cattle car or multiple depending on our group and stuff.
Yeah.
Our group was big both times, so we took 2. And we pretty much have to go up a mountain, and then we have church on top. Like it's not like we're in a building.
Yeah. Okay.
But
is it like an open building with like fans in it?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that was the same place we went to.
Yeah, they said that I think they've gone there like most years or whatever.
The only thing I remember about that is our Bible teacher, he was our science teacher, but he used to be our Bible teacher. It doesn't matter. He spoke the one time at their church, and oh my word, he was like, I've never seen a man sweat so much. I mean, it looked like he had fallen into like a pond. I mean, his entire shirt was wet, and then even his pants were wet, like almost down to his knees. Like he came and sat down after he got done speaking, and I was like, it looks like somebody dumped water on him. But anyway, when you said mountaintop, that definitely rang a bell. But okay, so first day, you do the hike. Okay, then what?
And then the days after are pretty much just going out to villages. Like every single day except Friday is our beach day, which is we just go to the beach and have fun, and then we usually clean up and stuff afterwards. But last year was a bit different, and we went to like multiple, like we went to 2 separate villages, or I think we might have went to 3.
Okay.
But it was very like, I guess separated in like the villages we went to. This year we went to Village 50. You know what? Have you been to 50?
No, we went to, what was the one we went to? 106 or not 106? Didn't you say you guys went there though?
Yeah, we went to 106 too.
Yeah, I think 106 was the one that we went to.
But so we went to 50 the first day, I think.
Okay.
And then we went to 106 the rest of the days.
Okay, 106. So, no, we only went to 106.
Oh.
We didn't go anywhere else. So.
I mean, last year we went to like, I remember going to like multiple different villages.
Yeah.
But I think 50 was the one we went like maybe once or twice to, or twice.
Okay. So what's the difference between the two, Village 50 and Village 106?
Village 50, 106 is definitely way more poor. Like, just by looking at it, you can tell it's way more poor. It's definitely gotten bigger. I think I talked to you about that.
Yeah, since we were there. Yeah,
it's a lot bigger. It feels like kind of like a labyrinth. Like you get lost in it. But 50, it's way more. Obviously, it's not quite as poor. It's still very poor.
Yeah.
But it seems a bit cleaner there.
Yeah. Did 106? Do they still have a church like out front? I mean, I remember they had like a little church building out front. Like as soon as we pulled in, like we got off the bus and there was a church like right by our bus. It was just a tiny building, like maybe the size of this room.
I think they might have expanded on it because
Okay.
we were in some sort of like,
Yeah.
I guess, area.
And that was like 14 years ago. That's crazy. But I just remember going, like, we walked around 106, and I just remember, like, at the very back of the village, like, they just had tons of trash.
Yeah,
that still-
that's still there, but you have to go a bit further back.
Okay.
And also like there like a train track. You remember like because there's sugarcane fields.
Okay, yeah, I remember the sugarcane fields. Yeah.
And then there was usually a train. There was like a train track. Like
I don't remember the
a
train
bit
track.
closer.
Yeah.
I guess it must have been new then.
Yeah.
But it's what they use to like carry the sugarcane on like carts
okay.
or whatever.
Yeah.
And that is like it's like kind of in a ditch, and then there's another road.
Yeah.
And that like the ditches on either side of the train track are just filled in trash, like
Oh,
with
my.
trash. And one of my classmates, Nathaniel Marshak, he
Yeah.
said that I think one of the saddest things was when he was playing baseball with the kids.
Yeah.
They had to like if they hit it too far, they had to pick through the trash. Like
To
they
find
couldn't.
it.
You had to find a tennis ball.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
I still remember, like, when we went, like, they worked 12-hour days and they got paid $1 a day. I mean, I'm sure that's changed now. Hopefully, maybe. I don't know.
I think they make about like $2-3 a day maybe.
Okay.
So it's a little better, but it's still.
Can you imagine that? I mean, dude, I cannot imagine that. Working 12 hours out in that heat and getting paid less than $3.
Nothing, pretty much.
Like our coffee is like $5, you know?
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. Okay, so what else happened?
So
You went to the hike. Did you guys go to 50 before you went to 106?
I can't remember now.
Yeah.
I think we went to 50 first, and then
Okay.
because we originally because at the end of the week we ended up passing out food on Thursday. I think that
Okay.
was. Which we usually stay at the compound and pack food, and then
Okay.
we load it up into a truck, and then we go like separate,
Okay.
and then once we get there, we help hand it out like near
Yeah.
the end of the day.
Right.
But it's up in the air because we didn't know if we were gonna go to 50 or to 106 to hand out the food,
Okay.
and they kind of asked like the leaders asked us like
Where you
the
wanted to go.
kids, like,
Yeah.
where we wanted to go, and we all wanted to go back to like 106.
Yeah.
So
So how many days were you at 50?
we were at 50 only one day.
One day. Okay.
Um,
So how did you, like, I guess, compare and contrast? Well, I kind of want to go through this trip because I heard some awesome things, but, like, I would imagine staying at one place would be much better than, like, going to different villages because you can connect with the people, and you have 1 week, so it's not like you have, like, a lot of time to connect with them. So
Yeah.
every day probably you can connect a lot more with them, but
yeah, that was one of that was probably the biggest reason why we wanted to go back to 106.
Yeah.
Is because kind of I think everyone had a kid come up to them and like kind of choose them.
yeah,
And
yeah,
like that's who they stuck with throughout the whole week.
yeah,
And like literally I remember every day leaving, they would all like just come running after the bus,
Yeah.
and, like, yelling at us, and then the next day coming back,
yeah.
they would
Excited.
yell, yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. So, okay. When you went hiking, was that when you guys met the two people that went up with you, or is that?
Yeah. So it was
Okay,
actually
tell us, yeah,
it was
tell
like
me about that.
it was 5 people.
Oh, it was 5.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was 5.
Okay.
So, like right at the base of the mountain, you kind of have to. I mean, it's kind of a given, but you had to go through trash. Like there's like a little
Really?
like trail you have to go through, and there's usually like trash on the road and stuff.
Okay.
And a little into like, I guess more of like trees. It's
Yeah.
not like when you're going up the mountain; it's kind of still at the bottom.
Yeah.
There was like just people like sitting down near like, just around something. I think.
Okay.
They're just like chilling there.
Yeah.
And there was like 5 girls there, and like their parents, I assume.
Yeah.
And, but they looked older, like more our age.
Okay.
They might have been older, maybe in their 20s, early 20s.
Okay.
But they wanted to come up, or our translator invited them with us. And
Okay.
Kind of like saying, "Come
Yeah.
on, like come with us."
Yeah.
And so then we just start hiking, and we're all kind of like spread out in a line.
Yeah.
But we get to like, I guess it's more of a midpoint.
Okay.
Of the hill, and our leaders tell us that we have to turn around pretty much and go back down.
Yeah.
Because at the very top, they like apparently cleaned out, like cut down a bunch of trees and stuff, and we're
Okay.
like just cleaning it out.
Yeah.
And there was like trees and stuff everywhere, so we couldn't go up.
Okay.
So we were just kind of like, we're getting pictures, and because usually we go all the way to the top and we stay there for a while and take pictures.
That's when take pictures. Yeah.
So we kind of just stayed there. We were a little disappointed, and we were kind of just hanging out and, you know, taking a break.
Yeah.
And then I saw Mr. K, Mr. Konori. He waved one of the girls in a group over, and he was like talking with the translator to these 5 girls.
Yeah.
And he waved her over, and he said, "Come over here and share the gospel to them." And he just like pretty much just kind of just threw her in.
He does that.
Yeah. So she was like talking through the translator with them, and we were still like, no one was really paying that much attention to it.
Yeah.
Some of them probably noticed it, but we were all kind of like trying to get pictures and
right.
whatnot.
Yeah.
And then a little bit later, we all like Mr. K gets our attention and tells him that these 5 girls want to accept Christ, and so we all like kind of turn around and we all like put prayer. We put our hands out and we start praying over them. That's awesome. And then we can hear them in Spanish praying. Yeah,
that's awesome.
And it's so cool.
Yeah, that was awesome. So it was 5.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and then. Yeah, I guess I don't even know. I mean, I had heard that like a lot of other people like committed their life to Christ, but we didn't get into the details yet. Yeah. So yeah, go into that.
I don't know specifics on many people because it happened, I guess,
like throughout the week.
Yeah, sporadically.
Okay. So I didn't know if it was like one night or something. Okay.
But I know specifically we had like kids. From the school in 106. Like accept Christ.
Okay.
I don't know how many there were. 6 to 10, I'd say.
Okay.
Might have been more. I actually don't remember.
Yeah.
But I forget what day that was. But then we also all kind of like stood around them, and that was kind of powerful because there were also a lot of younger kids there too.
Yeah.
And again, they were praying in Spanish, and like that's another thing is like, especially when you go to churches too. Yeah. You're singing the same songs, but they're singing it in Spanish and we're singing in English.
Really? Yeah. Okay.
So like
that's cool. I don't remember that.
Especially if you recognize a song, because a lot of it, like, it might not be a song you recognize, but sometimes it might be a song that we sing here too. Yeah. Just in Spanish.
Right. So that's so cool. Yeah. So they're singing in Spanish. And yeah, you guys are saying that's pretty cool. So, do you know much Spanish?
I knew a little bit, but definitely going down there really helps.
Yeah, I know, because you have to know. Yeah, you have to like learn stuff because you can't really. Yeah.
And it's such a shock too, because when you first get down there, you have to realize like you're in a different country now. Yeah. It's almost surreal. Yeah. But then you start seeing like no one speaks English. It's signs are in Spanish. People are just yelling. It's like it's all Spanish. Yeah. And
so
like
any
you're the
communication
only
has to be. Yeah. Yeah. So okay, how many people? I can't remember how many you said. I know it was over 30.
I think it was about 35.
So 35 people committed their life on this trip. That's pretty cool. Yeah. That's crazy. But so it was spread out. And then did you guys have church every night then?
Yeah, we had, except Wednesday and Friday, we had church just about every night. Wednesday was, we went out into the city and we played like a basketball game. Okay. And then Friday night we call it Upper Room. Okay. We have Upper Room. I think we had it just about every night too.
Yeah, but that's at the compound, right?
Yeah, that's at the compound. Yeah. And that's in the upper room.
That room's pretty cool. I remember that upper room. Yeah.
But and then Friday is like our big, like, everyone tells like their testimony, and it's like 3 hours long.
You mean like the like Lake Center students do? Okay, so that's kind of like ministry night. What we like do in like at City Challenge, like ministry night. Is that kind of what it is?
I wasn't there for that, but.
Oh, you weren't? Okay.
I left early because I went to Florida.
Oh, yeah. Remember, okay, like, we used to do, like, the chair thing.
Oh,
where, like, you put someone in the middle, and then, like, they share, like, what's going on.
That's
so is it more like that, or is it more like your testimony as far as, like...
It's like we obviously don't put someone in a chair in the middle,
Yeah.
but we were all just like in a big circle.
Okay.
And then we like worship first, and then it was just kind of like just anyone could share like what's going on, and people shared multiple times. And
Yeah.
you know.
Usually those nights are powerful.
Yeah.
Especially, I'm trying to remember how we're gonna do it in Costa Rica. I know that we have like well, maybe I shouldn't say this. I think it's pretty much well known, but we have like a night at the cross. Like they have a cross there, and like there's like a whole experience with like coming to the cross and just like laying your burdens down, and that's a powerful night. I remember that. So it just seems like that's like I don't know. People ask me about short-term missions, and it's like, I mean, that's awesome. But the other thing with Lake Center and the DR is like you guys have had a relationship with this organization and those people and the people know this organization, right? It's not just Lake Center that goes down. It's other.
Yeah. There was actually at the end of the week we had a school from Pennsylvania come up, and we had to share with them the compound with them.
Okay.
And one of the leaders in that group, he said he was kind of one of the first people who started like MGM. He was kind of
okay.
Or I forget if that's what he said, but he was kind of there at the beginning.
Yeah.
So
I remember there was a group down there when we went down there, but yeah, I feel like that trip is a good balance of like ministering to the people going down and like ministering to like the people there.
Yeah.
Because a lot of short-term missions are just, I mean, if we're honest, they're mainly about like the people going down.
Yeah.
But I do feel like this trip is pretty good at kind of balancing that out and sharing your faith and stuff. So
that's what a lot of people said about like the people who went twice. I said about the trip last year and the trip this year. They said his name's Weston. He's the one who came up with this analogy or whatever.
Okay.
He said the first trip was like the birth of Jesus, like, and we were the shepherds, and we were all like excited because we saw like Jesus was coming, you know, he was being born, and we were all excited and stuff. And then this year it was more like the crucifixion. It was it wasn't necessarily about us. It was more kind of like you could see Christ moving and stuff. And, it wasn't necessarily Christ working specifically in our lives, but
it was you guys pouring out.
It was us pouring.
So is that how they do it now? Like it used to be like just the junior class would go. I mean, so the first year that I went, it was juniors and seniors because they just offered it to the seniors. So I was a senior. And then I just remember talking to Mr. K, and he's like, the goal of it is that we do it junior year, and then those juniors come back for senior year, hopefully on fire for Christ, and then like that will permeate the entire high school. But so now they do, like, you can go both years. Like anybody can.
But
cool.
It is like they'll give like priority to juniors, first timers who want to go. Juniors, and then senior first timers who want to go. And then people who've gone twice. Or who've gone the first time.
So how many students went?
I think there was like probably 30 to 40 kids who went. It was, I think last year we had more. It was more 40 in the 40s. Of who went. So we had slightly less people, and there's actually more guys went too.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. That's awesome.
So I think all the girls that went they had gone last year, and then we had some first timers, and then and then a lot of the guys. It was just a big mix of people who had gone before, who were junior or seniors, and then juniors coming for the first time, and seniors coming for the first time.
Gotcha.
So
it was a good mix.
Yeah.
So I wanna like talk about you specifically. Like, how did it impact you? Like, what was like just the greatest impact for you in your life?
Just I guess like because last year it was we did a lot of like we definitely ministered to people, but you didn't get to see much of it happening really, like of I guess the fruits of your labor,
right?
And this year it was definitely more what's the word?
I mean, kind of, I guess what you said earlier, like it was more yeah, I mean, you got to see the fruits of like what you were doing
Yeah.
and
Or
like,
like more rewarding, I guess.
yeah, okay, yeah,
Cause like there was, the 35 people, but there was
right,
also just stuff that I saw and I guess just was able to witness. Like, I think I told you about it, but at the beginning of the week or near the beginning of the week, we went to church one morning, I think.
okay,
And we gave an offering. They set like an offering for a woman who was kind of sick and needed money because
yeah,
she couldn't work or anything.
yeah,
And like I said, there's maybe like 30
yeah,
some kids that went. And we all gave like $2-3, which doesn't
yeah,
sound like much,
right.
but that's down there. That's a whole
That's
day's
a lot,
wage.
yeah, I know.
But then again, there was only 30 people, and we ended up raising like, what was it? Did I say? It was like,
Oh man, I can't remember, to be honest.
I think it was around like $400.
Wow,
4 to 500, I think.
that's crazy.
Or,
So that was just you guys.
yeah,
yeah,
I'm trying to get it mixed. I might because we did offering for two different times.
okay, yeah.
Um,
On the same trip, you guys did two
yeah.
offerings. Okay,
and the second trip
Yeah.
the second time we took offering was for a guy who had gotten in a really bad accident
okay,
and he needed surgery. But he couldn't
Yeah.
afford it, obviously.
right.
And I think we raised like $700 for him.
Wow.
And yeah, that's and that was
so you guys dropped like
Yeah.
a grand over a grand. That's crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah, and that wasn't even like a planned thing. One of the students there was like, I think we really need to raise money for this guy.
Yeah.
And she brought it like up to like everyone.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna say how much I gave, but everyone was kind of giving like 20,
Yeah.
like the big bills and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that is crazy because like you go on a trip like that and I mean, I don't know. Most people are thinking like, okay, I'm gonna get like a souvenir, I'm gonna get like a necklace or something or a T-shirt and then you go down there and that's way more rewarding than coming back with like a T-shirt. You know what I mean? So that's cool. That's awesome.
I mean, that's another thing that was impactful too is just like the day to day, like because we're getting up pretty early. I mean, down there actually, I think everyone got up in the morning because you had an option.
Yeah.
Devotions were at 7, but you could get up earlier.
That's right.
And watch the sunrise.
Yeah, dude.
And I think by the end of the week, we had everyone. Like there wasn't anyone
really
sleeping in. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Because I remember last year. I mean, I don't want to say anything bad about it, but last year, I mean, not everyone went up, and I think a lot more people chose to sleep in, which I would have too.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
But then
sleeping in until 7.
Sleeping in until 7. Because then you have to go out all day. You're pretty much like working.
So
all day.
It's tiring.
So, but I think just because the whole entire week, I don't think I was ever like physically I might have been tired, but I was able to, I guess, just push through it because
and when you see people give their life to Christ, it's like it's exciting. Like, it definitely gets you going. Yeah. So that's cool. One of the things that I wanted to ask you about, because like I know, I just remember when I got back, like I remember I got back from the DR and I don't know why I remember this, but it was one of the first or second nights I was back. I went down into my basement and like normally I just like, I don't know, play video games or watch TV or something. And like I couldn't turn the TV on. I was like, I'm seriously going to just like sit here and watch TV when like I just experienced that.
Yeah.
And I just remember like opening my Bible and just like praying. And it was like, I just remember I'm like, dude, this is going to be me. This is going to be me now. Like instead of like doing what I did, I'm going to do this. And like, it's just crazy how being in our culture and in our setting, like it just kind of lulls you back to sleep. So anyway, just thinking through my experience, I just wanted to like, I think that I don't even think I made it a month before I started to like watch TV, play video games, like, chill and whatever. And not that that's bad, but it was like, you're so on fire. And then like, it just seems like it just like continually fades. And you can't always be on that spiritual high because like, you got to like live life. You can't like just not work or not go to school. You can't just I guess you could be a monk. So you could do that. But so yeah, I just wanted to ask you, like, what's your experience been, like, since coming back, and like the challenges, the good things, like, how's it been for you spiritually and everything, just coming back into like society and life and stuff.
It was definitely an adjustment at first. I mean, I kind of was ready for it because of last year.
Yeah.
I kind of knew what that would feel like.
Yeah.
But it was almost worse because we had spring break as we came back.
Yeah.
So, like, we didn't get to see each other really.
Yeah.
And a lot of the guys I know, they were on the baseball team. So,
Okay.
they went to Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
So, they weren't even, in Hartville.
That's true, yeah.
Or in Ohio.
Yeah.
So, and that's definitely something we talked about, like, near the end of the week,
Yeah.
too. Just, like, because it's, like, such different cultures.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something they said. I really like this thing that pointed out was the devil doesn't, like, here in America,
Mm-hmm.
the devil doesn't even really need to, like, I guess physically show up.
Yeah.
He just can let the world do its, like,
Yeah.
because we're so distracted by
Yeah.
school, work, and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
It's just so easy to
Our phones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so easy to just
Yeah, his job is like done.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't have to do anything. Yeah.
and then down there it's like you're living a very not as much as they are, but you're kind of living a simple life
Right.
down there. And like you don't need to think of, like that whole week I didn't think about school, work,
Right.
money really.
Yeah.
So like down there you don't worry about those things.
Yeah.
And it's
You're just focused on
yeah.
God and those people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then coming back it's even harder now this year because I'm a senior.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just because I come back and it feels like, oh, I have
Yeah.
the end of the year. So
Yeah.
it's just, I have this big
Yeah.
thing I have to
Yeah.
get over.
You have to finish. You have
Yeah.
to finish this out. Like.
And
Yeah.
so it's just, it was kind of, it's weird coming back. And in a way, it almost feels like a dream.
Yeah.
The DR, because
Yeah.
like you're just coming back and you're hit with reality.
Yeah.
And it's just, you have to grow up and
Right. Yeah. It's a crazy thing. Like, and we're gonna experience this when we get back from Costa Rica. Like, we're gonna come back and be like, man, this is like, how can we keep this going? Like, we need to keep this going. And yeah, it's just life. And the good thing about those is like those trips, it brings things back into perspective. Like, especially living in our culture, we have to have those things that bring us back to what's important. Because I don't know, we just get lost.
yeah.
And yeah, especially when you see people come to Christ. Like, I think we I don't even think really like 10 people maybe. We just we actually shared the gospel after a baseball game. Did you guys share the gospel after the basketball game?
No, I mean we did like the Revelation skit. So
Oh,
that's
okay.
kind of our
Yeah.
but not like
Not explicitly
Yeah.
saying, yeah. That was, I think, the only time that we really, and I'm probably misremembering, but that's the only time that I remember that we really like explicitly shared the gospel. I mean, obviously, like, we went to at least 2 different churches, not counting the mountaintop one. And so, but you're worshiping with what are believers.
yeah.
So like, it's not like you're sharing the gospel in this little church, because those people are there for church.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For God. So yeah, I mean, but anyway, yeah, when you're seeing over 30 people come to Christ, like, and then you come back to America and you're like, man, like, does this, history test really like matter?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's good. And that's kind of what, I mean, I don't know. I just wanted to celebrate, you going there, and also like, yeah, kind of hope that your story would bring somebody back to the point of like, oh yeah, what really matters, Like, obviously I'm not saying don't do your homework and don't
Yeah.
study for tests or whatever, but it is like a thing where, and maybe, I don't know, maybe go on a short-term mission trip. I don't know what what would be a good way to come back to reality in America? You know what I mean? I don't know.
I mean, that definitely, at least for me, definitely,
Yeah.
it was like a slap in the face.
Yeah.
Because like even going down there is like a slap in the face too. Just like with
Mhm.
the poverty you see,
Yeah.
and like we said before, like the trash.
Yeah.
I remember last year, on our way to one of the villages, we passed through a different village, and there was like, I don't even know how big the field was, but there was a pretty big field, and it was
Mhm.
like you couldn't see grass. It was just trash.
trash.
It was just trash.
It's just crazy that, I mean, I know that like it's third world, whatever, but you just think they would have like their government would have some type of something that they could
Yeah.
get rid of this trash, because I remember, I mean, it could be a different mountain, but we did that same hike. I mean, we did a hike up a mountain. I don't know if it's the same one, but like I don't remember any trash around that mountain, you know?
I think it
But-
might be the same mountain because I think we've gone to the mountain
Every year.
Yeah, every year.
We didn't do it the first day. I remember we had the baseball game, and I can't remember the baseball game. I feel like was in the middle of the week or towards the beginning, but towards the middle, somewhere in there. And I remember the field was just unbelievable. Like home plate was like gravel, and it was a tie game. And I think I was on second, and somebody on my team got a hit, and I'm like, dude, I gotta score. I gotta win this game. So like, I come around third, and I probably should have stayed at third, but I'm like, I gotta score. So I'm running, and I'm like, I have to slide. So I slid on the gravel, and dude, it was like from my knee all the way down to my ankle because I had shorts on. It just like cut me open. I mean, we ended up winning, so but so like my whole leg was just like, oh, it looked terrible. And then the next day we did the mountain thing. So we're in like tall grass, and like all this grass and stuff is just like
that.
it was so nasty, dude. But yeah, I'll never forget that, just because like I'm walking through tall grass with like an open wound.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, that's definitely a trip that, yeah, I'll never forget. But sounds like you won't either.
Yeah, and like even just like the people.
Yeah.
Like, that's something I heard from a lot of my classmates too, is the people down there are just like the way they worship too
Yeah.
is so different than us,
Yeah.
and it's like refreshing to see.
Yeah.
Because like just the way they were, like they are very like, I guess, physical, and the way they like
Yeah.
worship.
They're more expressive.
Yeah, they're very more.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and even like at 106, I think the biggest thing that I saw
Yeah.
there was like the ground is covered in broken bottle glasses and like bottle caps and stuff,
Yeah.
and the kids are running around in like in bare feet,
Yeah.
and like they're fine because they've grown up with it.
Yeah.
And like I saw, like it's kind of, I guess, interesting to see
Yeah.
the little kids. They're like their legs are cut open,
Yeah.
because they haven't developed like, I guess, like the calluses there.
Yeah.
But the older kids, they can run around a bit more fine.
Are you serious?
And the one
Dude.
kid I was playing with, like I felt his hand,
Mm-hmm.
and it's more callous than like,
Yeah.
I think
Anybody's hands here probably.
And he's got to be like 8.
Yeah.
Like he's super young, but they're like
Yeah.
they're working probably, and
Yeah.
they're running around on
Yeah.
stones
glass.
and glass.
Wow, dude. Yeah, it really puts into perspective like how blessed we are, and like
Yeah.
it's crazy. I heard something on a podcast, and they were talking, and he was like, the hardest thing for you is the hardest thing. And what he meant was like, if you have like a really sheltered life, and the hardest thing for you is that your car breaks down, like that's not really that hard in the grand scheme of life, but still it's still like for you in that moment it's really hard.
Yeah.
But like for us, when you see that, and then you think about the stuff that we complain about, it's just like, it almost is like shameful, because you're like, man, dude, like I'm complaining about like my cell phone glitching or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or complaining that, I got a flat tire, and it's like, there's people that are making $3 a day, working 12 hours a day out in a
Yeah.
sugarcane field. Like that could be our life, you know. And yeah, just trying to like keep in perspective, you know, what's important in life. It's yeah. What was like the most challenging thing for you guys or for you personally on the trip?
I guess the most challenging thing would be just it's more physical stuff. I guess it's just like the sun and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I don't necessarily need to worry about sunburn.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm lucky that way.
Yeah.
But I do get sun poisoning really bad.
Really?
So yeah, last
Okay.
year I didn't know that it was sun poisoning. I just saw that I had like a bunch of bumps on my. So
Yeah.
I thought it was an allergic reaction to like a bug or something.
Yeah.
So I actually ended up going like being taken to a doctor's down there.
Really?
Yeah, and that was kind of scary because they started like speaking a ton of Spanish. So I
Yeah,
didn't
you're like,
understand.
yeah,
And they started they
cut
like,
the arm off, and you're
they
like,
stuck a
no.
They stuck a needle in me. And
Nuh-uh.
yeah, and Mrs. Canori was there. And
Really?
she was asking like, what are they putting in? Like, what are they putting in him? And like, 'cause she didn't know, and she
yeah.
was all worried and stuff. But
Yeah.
it was fine.
You're still alive.
Yeah,
At least for now.
yeah. But
Yeah.
that's probably the biggest thing. It's just like the water too. Like you can't drink the water down there unless
Yeah.
it's like been purified and stuff.
Yeah.
And just
Do they still have cold showers?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, those are sometimes they're actually kind of nice down there when you're like hot all day and you're like exhausted. Sometimes
Well,
it's kind of nice.
What I did was I'd always take it when I come back. That because the water tanks would be sitting out in the sun all day, so they'd be warm.
Oh,
And
that's
the rest,
smart.
like most of the guys, would go down and play basketball on the basketball court, and
Yeah.
I would take a shower, and I'd
Yeah.
have a nice,
Nice warm shower, at least somewhat
and
warm.
It wasn't freezing. It was still kind of cool.
Yeah.
But it's felt good.
So they have a basketball court at the compound now?
It's like you just have to walk down a
Okay.
bit more, but it's not like right there.
Dude, what's happening to the DR, man? They're like the baseball capital of the world, and now like they're playing basketball.
I don't know.
Like
'Cause,
I didn't
we
see
didn't play
anyone
any.
play basketball.
We didn't play
when
any
we were-
really baseball down there.
Yeah,
Like-
that's. I mean, yeah, we only did that. Well, we did it. I'm pretty sure we did it at the village too with the kids. I mean, not with like actual stuff, but we played catch with them or something. But then, yeah, the one day we played a complete baseball game.
Yeah, we played a basketball game.
Dude,
So-
that's crazy. Oh man. So as far as like traveling or like getting around town, did you guys have any issues that came up with that?
Yeah, we actually, because the second school came, we ended up
Okay.
taking a school. We stopped taking the cattle cars,
Okay.
and we more took the school bus,
Yeah.
which is kind of disappointing. Because
Yeah.
we like the cattle cars.
Yeah.
fun.
Are those open? So we just took a bus. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's like it's completely open in the. It's like
What's it pulled by?
it's a truck pretty much, and
Okay.
it's made for cattle.
Oh, okay.
So like there's like bars and stuff that you can
Okay.
hang on.
Gotcha.
But they just load us all in there.
Nice.
So yeah, but it did rain a bit more down last year. Actually, it hadn't when we went down there.
Yeah.
It hadn't rained in like 3 months, so everything was like just dry.
Wow.
And I remember going to 50. I think it was 50, where you go through like all those sugarcane fields.
Okay.
Do you remember?
I don't remember 50.
Oh,
I don't know that.
oh, did you? I don't think you ever.
No, I mean we went to 106. I'm trying to remember. We did go to one other village because we went to church somewhere else. And it was like a little church, but I can't remember what it was. But I think we went to 106 every day.
Oh,
So
so 50. It's like a really long way away, and we have to go through
Okay.
like sugarcane fields
Yeah.
for a while
yeah,
until we get there. And we went there like past like it was on fire.
What?
Like yeah, I like some of it was probably controlled burns.
Yeah,
But
it was probably so dry.
Yeah.
You mean last time you went?
Yeah, last year. This
Yeah.
time it
So it's probably
it
so
rained,
dry
yeah.
that yeah.
it rained down there this time. But
Okay.
even then, you could see off in the distance like
Yeah.
big pillars of smoke where
Really?
they're burning stuff.
Hmm. Okay, so what you were saying there was like
Oh yeah, so
Issues.
we had to
Yeah.
take the bus. So
Okay.
it's a bit bigger and longer and harder
Yeah.
to maneuver, and
Yeah.
so we ended up actually like hitting someone's car, and we like had because I was sitting near the back and I was near the back wheel, and we could feel ourselves like go up, like
No.
and go onto it.
so we went like up
Yeah,
on the car.
Not like on like completely on the car, but we like definitely hit it, and
yeah.
so they had to like. I mean, there's nothing really we could do because they don't have like insurance down there.
Yeah.
So
So just like
I don't know if
They probably made
ended
it
up-
right somehow,
Yeah,
but
I don't know, but there wasn't any way like then that we could do.
yeah.
So
Just leave a note. I owe
I
you.
think they put it. In well, they were in the car.
Oh, they were in the
person
car. They were in
person's
the car.
car was
Okay.
in the car when we
Okay.
hit them. So a bunch of people like came out into the road and like helped move the car, and
Was it like?
it was like parked too
undrivable?
far over.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I think we hit it.
Yeah.
If it would have been like parked as far as it could have been,
It'd been fine.
yeah. So I think they initially put it. They were trying to like just move it by
Yeah.
itself, but I think they put it like into neutral or something like that. I don't know if
Okay.
it wouldn't start
Yeah.
and then they ended up just moving it, and then we got by. But it was
Oh,
that's like never happened before,
Yeah.
so
that's crazy. I mean, I can imagine that probably happens like every day
Yeah,
down
that's
there.
just-
Someone
yeah.
gets hit, they're just like, well, whatever. Cool.
The traffic pattern down there is crazy though. I
Yeah.
don't think I could ever drive down there because it's just people.
So there's no light. I mean, is there lights or?
There is lights, but I saw maybe like 2 or 3.
Okay.
It's just people.
Every man for himself.
Yeah, and like the way they honk is completely different too. Just because like the culture's different, so
Yeah.
like it might seem more negative here if someone honks at you.
There, it's like an
Yeah,
actual
they're, like,
communication.
Like I'm coming. Like,
Yeah.
So because they'll be like because we usually take like bigger vehicles because
Right.
multiple of us.
Yeah.
So we'd be going like through an intersection or whatever, and we'll just you can hear multiple
Honk.
like motorcycles honking.
No.
And they'll, like just go around us as we're going through it. Like they don't care.
Yeah.
So they'll just go. So yeah, it's just the way of them letting know like, hey, I'm here.
Hey, I'm
Don't-
here. Don't hit me.
Yeah.
But if you hit me, nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else that impacted you? Anything else that you learned? I mean, obviously, or anything that impacted your relationship with Christ now versus like before the trip. Is there anything?
Just I guess even now more coming back, you kind of
Mhm.
realize like the importance of community and like
Yeah.
just fellowship with other people. Because
Yeah.
I mean, down there we got really close. And
Yeah.
especially like Friday night where we all kind of shared.
Yep.
And it was, you learn stuff about like your classmates, even your friends
Yeah.
that you didn't know about.
Yeah.
So we all got like super close down there.
Yeah.
And saw how important it was
Right.
to like stick together.
Yeah.
And then even coming back because we're going to graduate and we're all going to go to different colleges and stuff.
Yeah.
And we might not see each other ever again,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
just to try and stay like, I guess, somewhat connected.
Somewhat
or,
connected. Yeah. Yeah.
At least keep the trip in the back of your mind. Cause
Right.
like there was a lot of like, some stuff I can't share about people that I,
Right. Yeah. Obviously, personal stuff.
but
Yeah.
just kind of just remembering
Yeah.
the trip and
Yeah.
because even now it's made me want to like even more now strengthen my relationship and
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
that solid I guess foundation because
It's something to
'cause-
fall back on.
yeah
Yeah.
because down there like stuff might have gotten hard but
Yeah.
we went through it as one thing
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
and so that's kind of hard too coming
It
back
is,
and you
yeah.
don't have that anymore
Right.
like you're not living together. We were living
Yeah.
together for like a whole week
Yeah.
and it feels like almost like a month. It feels
Yeah.
like a lifetime. Almost.
Yeah. I know.
It's
I know.
Kind of. It's kind of.
It goes by fast, but it does feel like just
Yeah.
completely different. Yeah.
Yeah, and also just like the way, because like down there, I can honestly say like, I love those people,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's, I don't want to say like I didn't feel it here. Like
Right.
I haven't felt it here, but like it's a lot harder to like just love a random stranger.
Right. Yeah. I
But then
know.
when you're down there and you see these kids,
Yeah.
who like don't have anyone at all to show them love.
Yeah.
And they're so like just desperate for it. And
Yeah.
then just like a simple hug.
Right.
Like
Means a lot.
this one kid, this is really quick.
Yeah. I know. Go for it.
But they took groups out to do evagelism too. So some would stay with the kids and play with them. Others
Yeah.
would just go like door to door
Okay.
and share the gospel. And I went with the group the second day or third day, I forget. Or the second day.
Okay.
And I met a kid that just ended up walking with us.
Yeah.
And he actually reminded me a lot of like my brother Cameron.
Okay.
In
Yeah.
the way like he was hyper and
Yeah.
he was like, there was actually 2 kids with me and he kept like pushing the one kid away because he just wanted me.
Okay.
And I
Yeah.
was like, I would spin him in a circle.
Yeah.
Like with his hands and
Yeah.
like he'd fly up in the air or whatever.
Yeah,
He'd spin
yeah.
around. But like he only wanted me or whatever, and he
Yeah.
was really kind of, I guess, more like I said, like my brother, he was a bit more hyperactive and just kind of like all over the place.
Yeah.
But then near the end, right before we left, he just like laid on my lap for like
Yeah.
10 minutes, and
Yeah.
he just lay there,
Yeah.
and you know that's something I'll probably never forget. And
Right.
it's just,
What was his
you
name?
know,
Do you remember?
I don't remember his name.
Yeah.
He told me. I think he told me probably, but
Yeah.
that's so hard. I remember his face. I remember
Yeah.
there's probably about 3 people there.
Yeah.
2 of them I was with on evangelism, and that little kid.
Yeah.
That I can picture them clear as
Yeah.
day. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But and then in church also, one of the leaders there said like, how can you? One thing he said was like, how can you love a God that you can't see, touch, or like feel with any of your senses, and then not love your neighbor who you can touch and see and like is like has feelings and stuff.
Yeah.
That's just like something that stuck with me. Like
Yeah.
coming back, like I need to show
Yeah.
that love to people here.
Yeah.
And
It's like the golden rule: love God, love others.
yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I was also thinking about when you were talking about community, like you're like, yeah, we were one down there, and it's like something you'll never forget. And like it's kind of like what Jesus modeled and what he said. Like him and the disciples were like tight, and then before he left, he was like, how the world will know that I'm real is if you guys are if you guys are one. And it's like, yeah. It just reminds me of what, I don't know if you were here last night for Mark Driscoll.
Oh no.
Okay. Well, yeah, if you can always go on Bethany's YouTube and it's on there, but he said in there that like we all come to church and we all sit in a building and we sit like side by side, but we're all alone. Like there's so many like lonely Christians, and like it's just because we're too prideful to be like, hey, I'm struggling.
Yeah.
And like you said, like Satan's job's so easy here. Like he doesn't have to distract us. He doesn't have to discourage us, really. It seems like we're easily discouraged even though we have all this stuff. And he can also like just from, I don't know if it's from social media or what it's from, but we're so me-centered that we come to church, which is supposed to be like a Christian hospital, right? It's supposed to be a place where we can come and I can be like, dude, Derek, like I'm struggling right now, like, with, I don't know, whatever I'm struggling with. But I'm too prideful to tell you that because then like, what will you think of me? And I don't know, it just really impacted me because I was like, man, that's so true, but it's so crazy. Like we know we need community, so we do come to church, but we can sit right beside somebody on each side of us and we can be lonely just because we won't share. Yeah. And like, you guys had the best of both worlds. You had the community of you guys where it's like you guys were one and you guys were like being vulnerable and sharing. And then you have the other part of it where you're loving people too. And it's like, if you don't have that in a Christian community, like, what's the point, man? Like, that's the whole point. And so, yeah, it's exciting for me to see you come back and just like, I remember like the first time I saw you after you got back, I could just like, I saw the life in your eyes and it was like, dude, like, I can't wait to talk to that guy. And then, yeah, your mom came up to me and was like, awesome things are happening. I'm like, yeah, I need to talk to that dude. I could just tell, I could just see it on your face, like, yeah, God's doing something. So, yeah, I just want to encourage you and encourage anybody listening, like, let's not forget what's important, that community, that vulnerability, but also like sharing God's love with others. Like it's, man, and we just get such a short time on this earth to be worried about the little things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And yeah, good stuff, man.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No.
No? Okay. Hey, let's, why don't you close us out in prayer and then
All right.
we'll wrap her up.
All right. Dear Lord, I thank you for today. I thank you that me and Jordan could come here today and record this podcast and just talk. And I pray that you be with us the rest of our week, that you bless us in your name. Amen.
Amen. All right, man. Good stuff.